Of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. I'm so sorry that I'm late getting in here. I wanted to verify some information before I came live. As you guys can see, we are talking about the Jacksons of Atlanta. We're talking about the information that came out about them today. And like I said, I always ask but verify. So I needed to verify the information. I wanted to make sure that what was put out was, was what it was basically. I hope you guys have had a good day today. I want to say thank you for taking the time to come and check out my video. Let me go ahead and welcome you guys to the chat. Hey, Miss Mob. I'm so happy to see you here. I hope you've had a great day. And Bush Barbies, you too. I know you may be busy, but thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Replay gang, I need y'all to do y'all thing. Guys, as you come in, please hit that like button and be sure to comment down below or in the chat. And guys, the most important part of this conversation is you. Be sure to join in the comments. Let us know how you feel. And be sure to say hello. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Leslie Alexander. Hey, Angel Flower. Okay, okay, guys. I just wanted to make sure that you could hear me because when I looked up, I didn't see any activity. Um, but as I was saying, I do apologize. I was saying that I remember him coming in the chat talking about the situation. A lot of the information we did know about the Jacksons of Atlanta. Some we didn't, but he gave them the opportunity to do right by him, and from that point, um, it went where it went, basically. Hey, Kiara Reed. Hi, and welcome to the chat. Those of you who are new here, if you will, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you'll know when we upload. You'll also know when we go live. Um, I want to say this. The reason that I'm kind of late getting in here, I actually was supposed to start this live about 30 minutes ago. Um, just because of the type of person I am, a little bit a personality anal. I always try to confirm things. So I was actually trying to confirm the information as far as the lawsuit. And I was not able to find information about it. Obviously, I just have the general name of the person who was sued. Also, I have Mahogany's name and the business name. So, I mean, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that it's something I couldn't verify. I just want to say that for my own protection. So I have to say, because of that fact, everything that we're saying here is alleged. I would have preferred to be able to find the information so that I could just know for sure what it was and present the information from there, but I cannot. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. Most of the information that he gave us, like I said, we kind of knew who they were and how they are anyway. So it definitely does not. Yes, I know he's here in the chat. It definitely doesn't take from anything that he said. What I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and pop this video up, and we're going to get started. Um, I am going to start playing it, and anything that you'd like to add, Sunaway, you are more than welcome to do so. I personally would like to apologize that you even had to go through this because you are an amazing what do they call it, cinematographer, videographer. You do great work, and people should be paid what they're owed. Also, it's hard enough to trust people in this world, but then to have to come back and be dealt with people of this nature just makes it harder to trust people down the road. Also, we all have goals, dreams, and plans that we try to adhere to and live to. And I mean, they don't know what the thing that they did, how it affected your life in a personal way, and it just stinks. Hey, Sharon Smith. Hi, welcome to the chat. We're just getting into the live. Also, guys, today has been a very busy day on YouTube. Hey, Cancer, welcome to the live. You did not miss a thing at all. Guys, also please welcome Mr. Sunaway to our live as well. He's obviously not a frequent flyer over here. But his story has been out there, and I guess, I mean, heck, he made it here faster than some of the people subscribed to the channel. So I need to know his trick. But whatever the case is, welcome nonetheless. Hey, Miss Diamond, welcome to the chat. Hey, Teresa Cox, welcome to the chat. Yeah, exactly. It's sad that we see them falling apart. It's sad that we see them treating people like this. It's sad that they are misrepresenting themselves as well as the information. And the biggest tragedy of this whole thing is those kids and how they are not really treated in a way that allows them to thrive the way that they should be able to. We have seen right through them ever since that third set of twins. Like, exactly, Mimi, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up here so that we can get started with our reaction. And as you guys know, I definitely want your input. And like I said, son, way, if there's ever anything that you would like to put in, um, let me know.
This is going to be the only video that I will be talking about this kind of stuff on this channel. So as you guys know, I was the Jacksons of Atlanta's videographer, and I was a videographer for quite some time. It was probably the worst job I've ever had in my 9 years of professional video work, and I will never go back to doing any kind of YouTuber content or like any things for other families because of how they treated me and the other employees. Like, well, I say other employees, it was just me and the nanny. That's it. There are no other employees in the company. There is.
Okay, I hope that you won't let them take you from maybe a opportunity down the road that may be prosperous for you. You just obviously will have to. I mean, you did your due diligence because I did listen to the video earlier today. Sometimes we just make those mistakes, but the only person that fails is the person that stops trying. If you see another prosperous opportunity, take a chance. Just when you first see trouble coming, that's when you exit stage left. You know what I'm saying? I know that you had I guess, a strategy at what you were doing and how you did things to ensure that you were paid appropriately. But yeah, next time, sometimes you just got to cut your losses because, like now, you're going to have to exercise your judgment maybe to get paid.
It's just Justin was one of the owners, Mahogany was the other owner, I was a videographer, and then you have Holly who was the nanny. Notice I said was the nanny because Holly quit as well because they also owe her money. So they reached out to me and they ended up giving me an interview, and I went to go to the interview, and at first I started already having some like red flags because when I got the notice that they wanted to have an interview with me, I went looking online, I did some digging on their website and stuff, and I saw that they had a completely different address set up to have us go to, but in the email that I got from them, they wanted me to go to a house, and I was like, okay, that's odd, but
Okay, I am going to say this. They are a corporation. I've had several corporations, but if you look up the Jacksons of Atlanta and if you go to their website to look up their information, the address for their corporate headquarters is 1 Glen Lake Parkway. 1 Glen Lake Parkway, as you stated, is a very beautiful building. It's a very nice area of I think it's in Cobb County. Actually, I don't think it's in Fulton, but it is an executive suite as well as it has different businesses in there. So they were probably using it as an executive suite, which means that they maintain an address there. They can get mail there for their business. If they have meetings that they need to handle, they can handle it there as well. But that is not where they do their day to day.
whatever. The place that was online is like a really nice building, and it's not where their business is at. They work out of their house, as you guys can tell.
I'm going to also say that's not uncommon for businesses, especially startups. A lot of time you have that professional presence as a business, but you may have your office at home. You just use your executive suite when you have big things to handle. So that's not, it doesn't have to be a red flag. The other things in conjunction with that makes it the red flag.
They've never been anywhere else, and that's like driving around in Atlanta and stuff like that. So all of us was working from out inside of their house. The interview was kind of quick. I ended up going there right after my job, and I think they kind of everything was going just fine. But then it started to really get to me, and I started to get really tired. And I don't get tired, so it started to surprise me that I was getting really tired. I don't think it was from like working. I think it was more of like a stress thing because when I say they were working me every single day nonstop, that's how it was. And there were even times where they would have me come into work and there was nothing to do, but they just wanted me there for some strange reason, and they would find things for me to do, and that really got annoying. But I didn't, again, another thing I just didn't argue about. I was just like, whatever, these guys are paying. And this was a full contract. This wasn't a, like, you come in, you film this, you leave, stuff like that. No, this was a full 40-hour week, supposed to be a 40-hour week thingy. But like I said, I was working every single day of.
You should have, at that 40-hour period, when you did not, for that first time that you went over 40 hours, get paid overtime, at that moment is when you should have discontinued with them. You have to make sure to always, cover your own back. And, really for what you do and the work that you do and the quality, you definitely have to demand for yourself what you deserve.
The week. So I went way over, and there was no overtime. So I was just working extra for free. The other annoying thing about that is they wouldn't tell me when I would be filming super late because I don't know why they never told me that. That really got annoying. And
Honey, you should have left when it was. If you get off at 5:01, you should have been in the car.
for someone like me, I'm a very like scheduled and organized person. So I need to know what time I'm starting, what time we're filming this, and things like that. So at the time, I put together this thing on Monday.com, which is where I was able to schedule out the shoots that we were having on my own because they weren't doing it. So I needed something to visually look at to know when something's due in videos. And it let me know when we shot a video, when it's supposed to be uploaded, and also like the process that I was in, like did I edit it, things like that, did I upload it, all that. I was able to check everything on there. And Justin and Mahogany aren't really the most organized people.
Honestly, they're really not the most business people. These are two young people. They had kids. They had a unique situation that brought about for them an audience. I think it happened very fast, and that's why I went to their head so bad because they really thought they were superstars. All those photo shoots that they were doing and all this stuff they were doing, they really thought they were somebody that we were there to be enamored with them. We were there as people who watched their channel because of the beautiful kids and the family dynamic. But in their head, they thought it was about them. That's where they messed up at. And, I mean, unfortunately, the work that you did helped that even better because, like I said, you did a good job.
Like I say not the most organized, they're not organized at all. So they would have things just thrown all over the place. And when it came to scheduling, they would make me work off of this Google Doc that just said like, oh, like we're shooting this video on this day, and there was like no times and stuff. They would change the times where they would want an edit due at like 8 p.m. And that bothered me too because like, okay, if I'm supposed to be getting off at like 5 o'clock and the edit is due at 8 p.m., that means that one, I have to either finish the edit in that moment while we're filming all day, by the way, because we're filming every single day. I would either have to finish working there at their house or I'd have to go home and continue working.
No, I wouldn't. I
And
would have went.
they put us into this group chat, and they wanted us to talk through there. They didn't want us to send any text individually, which I thought was odd. They didn't want me to call Kathy or anything like that. That's red flag number 2. And I'm a curious person. So I'm like, why don't they want me to call this assistant? Which, by the way, is in charge of giving me my paycheck and stuff like that. Well, I say paycheck, but they would just transfer the money into my account. They didn't do a paycheck. They didn't do any kind of form of payment that could be traced back. So I thought that was kind of weird again. So, more and more red flags are stacking on top of each other. And at this point, I'm just being careful because I don't want anything to mess up like with me. So I'm just covering myself with a lot of things like that. So the whole thing with Kathy is Kathy was the point of contact when it came to my pay. And she would send me an email to confirm like, hey, you're getting paid this amount on this day. And it's like, okay, cool. I know how much I'm getting paid. So the thing about Kathy is, like I said, Kathy doesn't exist. And I decided to test that theory. I thought it was odd one day when I left from my interview and I got a text from Kathy that was like, hey, it was so great to meet you and having you come in. It was so good hearing everything. And I thought that was kind of odd because I was like, I didn't see you. I met with Justin and Mahogany, but I never saw Kathy.
You know, when I heard that earlier today, it made me think. The thing about the Kathy thing, If they are an actual corporation and one of the seats or one of the people, should I say, that occupy a seat or a position in their corporation use that name Kathy, in that type of situation, they are allowed to do that. As long as their corporate resolution authorizes it, explains the relationship of the name Kathy to whatever position and why it's being done. A lot of times in companies, people do things for anonymity. So if that is what they were doing, then that is allowed. Now, are they able to conduct business as her without the corporate resolution? No. The payments should have been coming to you through a company. It shouldn't have been coming to you through a name. So that's neither here nor there. Now, one question I did have was the fact that you sued them instead of going to the Department of Labor and demanding your wages. It would have been a whole lot different of a situation if you would have done that. It would have been much faster, and there's more protections you would have had because you worked for those wages. So I was curious why you chose the route that you went instead of doing it the other way.
So I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't say anything about that. I just took a screenshot because you never know. Then there was this other time where I thought it was really odd that Kathy was sending me these messages trying to confirm things that I talked with Mahogany about. And I'm like, okay, maybe Mahogany talked to Kathy and they're like trying to, understand some things. But no, that wasn't the case. So I thought that was weird. That was another flag. The other thing that I was like, okay, I need to confirm. Like, I'm already thinking Kathy is not a real person. I need to confirm if Kathy is a real person. So we were supposed to be filming Justin's headshot.
Now, this is a question that I do have, Sunaway, with this Kathy situation. For me, that would have been a cause for concern because whether it's a corporation, whether it's whatever, you have me dealing with a phantom person, possibly. I'm curious as to why you didn't ask about that or why you didn't mention it prior to it becoming relevant, in your day to day, especially since at the end of this, you know, that's what they kept referring back to this Kathy person when it came to your money. I am curious as to why you didn't just ask them outright. Why don't I ever meet Kathy if she's your assistant? Is she virtual? Is she not local? Like, what's the deal with that? And the CEO of their company is Mahogany. According to the research that I did, I didn't see anything that actually had Justin's name on it. So that was another thing I was curious about. Why you didn't sue both of them and the company. ISAOA, which means its successors and or assigns. So if you sue them that way, not only are you suing both people, you're suing the company. And if they go and try to change the name of the company, assign the company to another company, collaborate, or join with another company, your lawsuit remains intact throughout the successions of all of those. And you can get money out of those other companies.
And we didn't leave the house, and I was like, okay, we're like a good 30 minutes behind. What's going on? So I decided to, text a group chat, and I was like, hey, like, aren't we supposed to be leaving right now? Or like, what time are we supposed to be leaving? Kathy responded in a group chat, and she was like, yes, we are supposed to be leaving. Now, I thought that that was weird as well because I was like, okay, I'm
Okay, let me look at the comments real quick. Angel Flower, you said, can you believe she would fake a marriage and allow him kiss them in the mouth? Who you talking about, child? Sunaway, this is a question from you from Kiara Reed. She wants to know if you're the one who shot the movies. Um, so hopefully you can answer that. And who was kissing somebody in the mouth? I'm with you too, Mimi. Honey, I would have went to jail fooling with Justin, especially once he told me he wasn't paying me. I would have been like, cool, boo. Because when I leave up out of here, your shit coming with me. You got me bent. And I would not have turned over any of their stuff until I received my full pay. And probably would have charged them daily interest playing with me. Yeah. Um, Miss P Smiles, welcome to the chat. First of all, I hope you have hit that subscribe button. I was unable to find the documents in reference to the court case. Now, if Mr. Sunaway would like to email me that information, we can definitely do that. I did look it up by name. I looked it up by company. I even looked it up by all courts in the state of Georgia, and I could not find it. Nothing filed within the last uh, well, let me say it like this: nothing filed in 2024 or 2023. So, because I don't have that documentation available, no. But if it was, in the Pacer system, I would definitely have made it available because that was my goal. And like I said, that was why I was late. I just wanted to confirm the information. Y'all know how I am. I be trying to have all the tea for y'all. So, but if it ever becomes available, I will definitely do that for you. Another thing I'm waiting on, and I have been searching, is for that divorce. I don't see that anywhere either.
I'm asking Justin and Mahogany, what do you mean, yes, we are supposed to be leaving? And as I'm like getting this text from her, I see Mahogany walking through the hallway. Mahogany's holding this other phone and she's typing. And immediately, whenever she finished typing, I get a text from Kathy trying to correct her mistake. And she was like, let me check to see when you guys are supposed to be leaving. And I was like, that's odd. Kathy is Mahogany and Justin. So the person who's in charge of my paycheck isn't real. They were pretending to be some other kind of employee. And from my understanding, and from, the judge's understanding, which I will get into later on, that's illegal.
Yeah. So if they're acting on behalf of another person, one person to another, that is illegal. But if the corporation is acting under a name like a DBA, et cetera, then that part is not illegal. But the thing is, if you work for the Jacksons of Atlanta, that's who's supposed to be paying you. So that makes the situation different. Now, Sunaway says, I believe the court case is public. I wouldn't even know how to access it. I have a physical judgment order in my hand, though. Basically, the way I would access it, you can give me the court case number, or if there's a docket number. Like I said, I looked up Mahogany Jackson, I looked up Justin Jackson, I looked up Justin M. Jackson, and I looked up your name from your IG. None of those names came up on any cases in the state of Georgia over the last 2 years. So, unfortunately, I was unable to get the documents. If you want to make the information available to us, I would definitely like to share it with them. As I said, they just want to like know the details of it. And again, anything that I talk about, I always try to verify facts. That's just something I'm going to do. Just being the person that I am. So it's not like, and let me be clear, I'm not saying I don't believe you at all. I just, it's just me doing my own due diligence as a person who's put information out here. It like I said before, it lets me know how I can discuss it and what I can say. So I can't say for fact, blah, 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 because I didn't see the paperwork. I have to say, allegedly, this is what happened. So basically, that's that. Yes, they're definitely all for sale. Oh, he said no, he didn't shoot that movie, Kiara.
So that was something that I didn't really like. So at that point, I started looking at other jobs whenever I would go home and I have my 3 hours of sleep. And I think they started to realize that I was looking for other jobs. So they started to add on more things to my duties, which didn't bother me. I didn't really care. But I never let them know that I knew that Kathy wasn't a real person. There was one other thing that I needed to confirm because I was like, okay, if anything were to go down, I need to have like hardcore proof that Kathy is like supposed to be Justin Mahogany. There was some other person, you know, Justin does these skits and everything. I sent a text to our group chat, our regular group chat, trying to confirm some other stuff. And while I was in the office, you know, I would edit in their office. They wouldn't let me edit at home. So I would be editing at their office. I realized that their like this phone behind me started to vibrate. And I was like, that's odd. So I get up and I look at the phone and I see a text message. Not my text message, but I see a text message that has sent to one of the people who do Justin skits. And it was like, hey, it's Kathy. I just wanted to let you know that we're so happy to be able to meet with you and stuff like that. Our shooting is next week. And I was like, so Kathy, one, like I said, Kathy doesn't exist. But they're pretending to be Kathy to everybody who's like deals with them, which I don't know why they need to do that. They could just be themselves and be like, hey, you know, we're gonna pay you from our account and stuff like that. They want to.
Now, honestly, Sunaway, I feel that it is some shadiness there because when I mentioned earlier about corporations using different names, they use it in positions like CEO, executive director, CFO, and usually for anonymity purposes. So let's say ABC Corporation, you are the CEO, but you don't want that out there for whatever reason. Then you can put a name there and you'll have a corporate resolution stating that this person is actually this person, but you will only act in an official capacity for the business. You don't act, one person to another. And you said this is some assistant. She's not even holding a position at the company. Another thing, when I was doing the research, Justin name didn't come up. There was a lot of Justin Jacksons, but Justin M. Jackson, it's almost like he don't exist. So that's another interesting thing that I thought. Unless he spells his name weird, I don't know, but I couldn't find anything on him. The only thing I found on Mahogany was information in conjunction with the company, but I didn't see nothing on him. They may be doing that as a way to hide him. Plus, I also believe the reason they had y'all in a group chat, Justin is so anal that he has to have his hands on everything. And I think he did that so that he would know all conversations that everybody was having amongst each other.
Their company to seem way bigger than it actually is when it's just them two. There is no other people involved in the company. Again, it's just Justin and Mahogany. So at that point, when I saw that text message, I took a picture because I was like, yeah, no, like I don't like this. So I took a picture of it. I never brought it up to them because again, I wanted them to think I was dumb and just to have them thinking I'm just some regular person who doesn't know what's going on when I knew everything the entire time. So that's the whole Kathy thingy. They, like I said, they were pretending to be another employee, and that's illegal. And I don't know why they did that, but they did. There was just one point when working with them when I was gonna quit like way early on, and it had to do with my lunchtime. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was this video where Justin surprised Mahogany to some go-kart place, and they spent time over there. Before that, in that same day, every single day I eat my lunch at 12 o'clock. That's like a normal time for people to go out and eat lunch. They know I eat lunch at 12 o'clock. I do it every single day. Now again, like I said, Justin and Mahogany are terrible at planning. I'm looking at the list of everything. I finished all of my filming. I finished all of my editing. I was practically like good for the day. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go take my lunch. Justin ends up coming into the office and he's like, hey, Josh, we're going to go film something real quick at the neighbor's house. We wanna, so like get the camera ready, get the gimbal stabilized and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like what time is, this wasn't on the schedule. So I was gonna go eat lunch. So just let me know so that way when I come back, I can, get everything ready so we can start shooting. And then Justin was like, oh no, right now. And I'm like, okay, like why wasn't this on the schedule? I'm not prepared at all. And he's like, yeah, it's like supposed to be, like we already knew about it, but we're just not bringing it up to you. And I'm like, that's really last minute. Again, I'm not a last minute person. So, but anyways, I was like, you know what, okay, whatever, but like I'm starving. Like I need to get something. He said, yeah, we'll get you something afterwards.
Baby,
And
I
I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to the neighbor's house, they go inside and they start like talking for a good 30 minutes. And then we start getting the filming and everything.
I
And
can't.
get this. So Justin knew this ahead of time. Justin and Mahogany knew this ahead of time. What the shoot was, as you know, most of you guys can see on the screen, is agreed I need to get something to eat. He's like, yeah, we'll do it afterwards. And then, they bring this up to me last minute, and it's like, you guys, can't do that. You should like let me know ahead of time. This is poor planning. So, but anyways, they're eating this food in front of me. Everything's smelling good, and I'm like frustrated as I'm filming them eating and smacking and drinking alcohol in front of me. And I'm like, okay, like I need this bit to be over because I'm like starving again. And this guy is making more than enough food. He's making a lot of food. And I wasn't, again, like I wasn't mad at the fact that they were eating in front of me, but it was kind of rude that I was supposed to be eating lunch. Justin knew I was supposed to be eating lunch. And instead of them, like, they didn't offer anything. The guy didn't offer me anything. They were able to take like extras home with them. And they didn't offer me anything to eat. So I'm like, what the heck is this? So I'm mad about that. And then we end up going straight to Atlanta. And
Yeah, you should have ate, honey. They would have been mad at me because they would have heard smacking in the recording. Because I'd have been eating while I was standing there with that doggone video camera. But that's just me. Okay, that's fine, son away. If you want to send it to me, my email is the same as my channel at gmail.com. That's fine. Let's see. Mahogany just posted on her channel with more lies. Child. You know, ugh, she's a conversation for another day. I'm gonna have to let that go. She really makes me feel like people wanted to put everything on Justin. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's all him. Like I said, she is the CEO of the company. So a lot of things, I mean, yeah, he does a lot, but they were very complicit. They are two peas in a pod. That's why I do not believe that they are in the process of getting divorced. They are very much like each other. Very much like each other.
we go to the go-kart place after they've been drinking, and I don't ride with people who drink. So I didn't really appreciate the fact that they ended up having us drive all the way to Atlanta while they're drinking. Mind you, Mahogany can't drive. She's a terrible driver. Justin can't drive. He's also a terrible driver. But we ended up driving, and then they do the thing where they ended up renting a Turo car. They really like renting things on Turo because their current car isn't the best, as they don't ever show their car.
And you know what else is interesting? All of this, I'm buying this, I'm buying that, I'm getting new furniture, blah blah blah. Um, and it's like they're here making money because at one point in time they were getting a lot of views and making very good money, but you don't see that as far as in the way that they live. That's the biggest conundrum when it comes to them for me is you don't see that in how they live. And I just thought it was weird. And yeah, Regina, you are right. Most of the things that we already felt is basically what we're realizing is, the actual situation. And also, guys, I wanted to say when he said driving all the way to Atlanta, for those of you who don't know, although their name is the Jacksons of Atlanta, they actually live in Henry County, which is McDonough, Georgia. And it's about, with traffic, it's about a 35, 45-minute drive, again, based on traffic from Atlanta.
So they ended up renting a Turo car, and we got in there, and we drove the rest of the way to the place. And they're eating again there. they're drinking more alcohol, and then like, okay, let's go drive go-karts after we finish drinking alcohol. And it's like, you guys just whatever. So we ended up filming that entire day, and then whenever we finished, we ended up having to go to Justin wanted to get dessert. So instead of going straight home, he decided to go to another place to go out and eat and stuff. I had to film that as well. That took about like another hour. That day I got back home at like 10 to like 10:30. No, I'm sorry, we got to their house at 10:30, and then I ended up going home. Now, I'm gonna like talk a little bit about the nanny at this point, because at this time, Holly has been trying to get in contact with Justin and Mahogany because, she's watching the kids. She had no idea that they were gonna be out so late, and Justin and Mahogany would be ignoring them all. Justin and Mahogany would be ignoring her a lot, and so when we got back, again, it's like super late. I was a little confused on like her reaction, but she ended up leaving without saying a word. Like she was just like getting out the door. Holly was like, hi, and then she just like left. I'm like, what's up with Holly? So I thought that was kind of odd until later on I realized that Holly wasn't supposed to be there that late. And they never communicated this with her either. So again, this is like another last minute thing. And they just took it with, them not responding and stuff like that. So she was pretty pissed about that. And I could tell that, something was wrong with her. But, you know, we didn't really talk that much until recently, but I'll get into that later on. So after everything, the next day comes up and I decided that I wanted to talk to Justin and Mahogany about, being a bit more mindful about.
Okay, so Regina says, my question is, was the work that the employees did for the Jacksons of Atlanta technically legal by the Jacksons of Atlanta and legit? Um, even if the company wasn't legit, if they hired him to provide a product or service for them or the company, like I said, ISAOA, which means it can be for them, it can be for one or the other, it could be for the company, or it can be for all of them collectively. Once they had that verbal agreement, whether it was contracted by paper or not, it is still legal and binding. Now, the thing I don't understand is, like he said, he filed a civil suit. Um, with a civil suit, I mean, you can get your judgment, which is a writ, to collect on the fees. But if he would have went through the Department of Labor, which is not too late, Sunaway, if you go and make a complaint to the Department of Labor against each of them and the company. So just like how Cassie did Diddy, she sued everybody. That's what you need to do to them. Um, um, and basically, I mean, that's the gist of it. Um, and that may help you collect. Also, any personal property that they own, be it a car, be it a diamond ring, be it electronical products, you, with that judgment, can go to where they live and reside and take any assets that they have, adding up to the dollar amount of the claim that you have against them, or should I say judgment. That's something that you can do. You can look into maybe speaking with um, an attorney about that. I'm not sure that if you just call the police and meet them there or what, but you can use that to take from them. You can also use that. You may need to do research on the paperwork, but you can get paperwork filed, and if you know who they bank with, especially if they was put money into your account, it should have told you what bank it came from, and you can go and request your money from their bank. You have to file something with the court, and the court will send it over to take the money out of their bank account. You can do that as well. So look into those things. moving
worth of stuff, and I'm cutting this down to get it down to a 20-minute video, unless they had like a brand deal. And then at that point, it could be like whatever length, because the brand deal is kind of important. That's how they make their money. So that was one thing that we were doing. But yeah, they were just like nitpicking at stuff like that. And it was like, okay, like clearly I get it. You guys are upset with me, but you can't say anything about my edits because, I've been doing this for years. There's no actual issue. And it'll be like little things like the music is too loud. So I would I wouldn't even touch it. I would act like I'm bumping it down, and then I'll replay it back for them. Like, yeah, like this is perfect. I'm like, yeah, I literally didn't touch it, but yeah, thanks. So little things like that. So this is when things started to really get really bad for me. I ended up telling Justin and Mahogany they had to take someone to the airport, and I told them a week in advance, and they already knew about it. So I was like, hey, it's like I have to get off at 5 o'clock, which was my regular scheduled time. And they're like, okay, cool. We're not gonna keep you any longer. 5 o'clock is the time that we're gonna let you leave. I'm like, cool. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take my car because I don't really trust them that they're gonna let me leave at 5 o'clock because they never keep the word. They tell you one thing, then they do something completely different. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my car.
Welcome to the chat.
So the time comes where I have to take my friend to the airport. And this is also the time where I was supposed to get paid. Now, I never got a text. I never got an email letting me know the time I was supposed to get paid, which normally I would get an email or a text letting me know, hey, you're getting paid this amount. I never got that. So I thought that was kind of odd. So I ended up asking Mahogany. I was like, hey, Mahogany, I never got a text or an email letting me know that how much I was supposed to get paid. And she was like, have you messaged Kathy? And I did a little smile. I was like, no, I will though. And she's like, yeah,
Yeah, Lady T speaks. Yes, they all can go to the Department of Labor and file a claim. As a matter of fact, I had just said that. I'm not sure if you were in here. Hey, Sharon Smith. I'm not sure if I spoke with you earlier. But yeah.
Text her and let her know that you never got paid. So I was like, okay. So I ended up sending, Kathy an email, and she never responded to me. I was in the same room with Mahogany, so I wasn't expecting a response. And as the day went by, still nothing was going on. Then we ended up going back to the house so I could go and get my car because they wanted to go shoot at another location.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the time when Justin's like filming all of his skits and stuff like that. They had the other videographer who was filming from Justin's phone, and I was getting behind the scenes stuff. So at this point, I wasn't even needed for this day because they didn't have me filming anything, but that's besides the point. So we ended up driving back to the house so I could go and get my car. Immediately as they drop me off and I get to my car, I get an email from Kathy saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know that, we had an issue with the financing team, so we were only able to give you half of your payment.
You know what? I feel like this Kathy person is Justin, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. He always talk about, yes, we have a team this, team that, team. And he just said that he mentioned something about a financing team. Who the hell has a financing team? You ain't no multi-million-dollar or Fortune 500 company. So why would they have a team? It makes no sense, but that is what he says on a consistent basis. So that's why I feel like that is on him. I think that's him playing this game with you.
This was already planned. I shouldn't even be going back and forth with you about this. So I end up leaving, and then I get a text from Justin like later on. He's like, oh, like I didn't realize that today was the day, and like we talked about it earlier today as well. You knew. So I'm pissed. I get pissed about that.
Handsome.
But so now I'm mad about him trying to lie in front of me, like in front of everyone, about him not knowing that I was supposed to be leaving at a certain time.
I agree.
And I'm mad about me only getting paid half of my paycheck. So it already wasn't a good day. So I ended up going home that day, and I was talking to my old boss about it.
Baby, it would have been a short day for me because the moment that they told me they couldn't pay me, I would have went to the house. Because if you can't pay me one paycheck, you sure can't pay me two.
And he was like, I don't really trust these people. If I was in your position, I would have just quit because they don't seem very reliable. They don't seem to have anything together. They're taking advantage of you. You should probably like quit. So the next day, I get there early, like I'm normally like I do. I always get there 30 minutes early. And so I'm outside their house and I get inside and Justin's like, hey, like we're ready to go. I was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And he's like, yeah, sure, what's up? And so at this point I'm explaining to him like, hey, Kathy only paid me half of my paycheck. And Justin's like, what do you mean Kathy only paid you half? Like,
Sharon
and I
Smith,
was like, yeah,
that
Kathy only paid me half of my paycheck. Mind you, again, I already know Kathy is not real. So, and Justin doesn't know that I know.
Miss Sharon, yes, he was around the children. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. He does speak on them some, and he does say, yes, there was a contract. I believe he mentioned that earlier as well. And yes, you're right. Also, Tammy J, they did lie about having an attorney. But you know what? A lot of people do that because Honey Peach McIntyre loved talking about her phantom attorney. Oh, oh, Lord, you done made me. Passion Lisa, you done made me choke. Sunaway, there's a question. I'm gonna put it on the screen. We all talked about a third set of twins, or should I say they did. They told us that they were having three sets of twins. Passion Lisa said, was there an actual twin or baby that passed away?
Kathy isn't real. So Justin like all confused. He's like, oh, that's odd. Did she say why? And I'm like reading him the email of what she said. And he's like, well, if Kathy says that she's going to pay you on this date, then she's going to pay you on that date. So I would take her word for it. And I was like, that doesn't really work for me. You're asking me to work for free at this point until I get paid this. And then the next week I'm supposed to get another paycheck. I can't trust that you guys are going to, go through with that and actually pay me this amount because now you're gonna owe me another half and then you're gonna owe me a full payment the next week. So I couldn't really trust that. And he at this point he's getting mad at me and he's like, like at least you got something. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you actually saying this to me right now? So then he decides, he's like, oh,
Passion Lisa, I think what happened was after they alienated this young man from working with them, I think that they did start back doing more. Because I do recall when they had one of them baby, the third set of twins debacle around that area. They did actually have the computer at the hospital while she was in labor, and they were doing some uploads and things of that nature. Now, another thing, like I told you guys before when I talked about them, I feel like the reason that they are also doing this separate thing is because they did a brand collaboration with this company that gets a percentage of their money that they make every month. And I think that's why they're trying to develop their personal brands so that now, yeah, let me make sure I was making sure I said it right. I think that if they make money on their personal sites, I think they probably keep it. But the Jacksons of Atlanta's YouTube channel, the money that's made there, I think goes in collaboration with that of the company. I can't remember the name of the company, but they own copyright to a lot of the content that's posted there. And I believe that's why they don't post there as often as they used to. Let me see if I can pull ahead a little bit. I want to get to the part about the kids and the court. Oh Lord, I hope I didn't mess it up.
is about how you can go forward with that and get in the footage because we need that footage. So Justin leaves, and I'm like, you're gonna have Kathy come in? So I'm all excited, I'm like, dang, like Kathy might be a real person, or like, who are they gonna have come in to be Kathy to like talk to me about me quitting and then my pay and stuff like that. So Mahogany comes downstairs because Mahogany's not leaving. She's not going to do the skits with us. And she's like all like in her little onesie and all like snugged up. And she's like, oh, like what happened? Justin told me to come down and talk to you. And I was like, oh yeah, I quit. Like, I quit. You guys didn't pay me, so I'm gonna go home. And Mahogany's like, oh, like, what do you mean we didn't pay you? I'm just like, in my head, I'm like,
Hi,
you can
and
cut the
welcome
crap.
Just Life, please, Zaria.
You guys
Chat.
didn't pay me. So she's like, oh, so like, what about our footage? And I'm just like smiling because like, okay. So Justin told me that Kathy is gonna come in so I can talk to her about going forward and then getting you guys your footage. And Mahogany was like, Justin said that? And I was like, yeah, Justin said that Kathy's gonna come in so I can talk to her. And Mahogany keeps coming with these excuses of why Kathy can't come in to work so I could talk to her. And I'm like, okay, like again, I already know Kathy's not real. So I know you're trying to come up with all these excuses so that
Right.
way, you could have me to leave, but I'm not leaving you guys with my hard drive. So she's like, I can't let you leave with the hard drive because that's our footage and we need that.
Right.
And so, that becomes an issue because I'm like, so I'm not able to leave with
You should have
my
said
hard
that.
drive because you guys
You should have said, no, this is my footage until I get paid. Then it's yours. Because that's what I would have told them.
decided not to get another hard drive to already like transfer stuff. I'm not leaving my hard drive with you guys because I have other clients on there. I have my own personal work. I'm not leaving that here. I already don't trust you guys, so there's no telling what you guys are gonna do with my footage. So I don't tell them that. But so Mahogany's like, we gotta figure it out. And we're like going back and forth trying to figure stuff out. So at this point, I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll leave the hard drive and then I'll come back and get it whenever you like transfer everything over. But they have to get the hard drive. I don't leave them with the cable. I just leave my physical hard drive there with them. And it wasn't the hard drive that had the footage on there. I just left them with a random hard drive that I had like in my bag. And so that way, like, if they did decide to finally go and get something, didn't have the footage, because I want to get paid before they like took the hard drive from me, because you're not gonna play me. I already see where this is going. So I go home and then I'm waiting for like some kind of email or text or something about the pay or Kathy, and Kathy, like, we never get to meet, we never get to talk. I end up messaging Mahogany asking about, hey, have you like been able to schedule anything with Kathy so that way I can schedule a time to come in and speak with her about this stuff and I can also get my hard drive. I never got a text. Never got a text back. I never got a call back. At this point, I already like sent them my letter. I sent them my letter of resignation to them. So get this. At this point, because of all of that, Mahogany ends up kicking me out of my work email. She ends up.
You have a cute accent. Where are you from? And he says it, guys, it's right there on the screen. Everybody take a moment to read it. There was not a third set of twins. It was a lie. That is so unfortunate that they would do that because, I mean, we were there for the family dynamic, which means that we were there for the family. It didn't matter who was in that family. We were there for the family. And this right here is why they channel is where it is today. Why would you lie about something like that? People shared their intimate stories with this woman about losses that they had. They tried to connect with her on that level. Man, it was awful. That's just awful. Son away. Tammy James says, "What happened to Sarah? Is Sarah the new videographer?" That's the only person that they really showed us that I can recall was Sarah. If you will, if you have any information about that, please let us know. Hey, Erica, welcome to the chat. And also welcome Mr. Sunaway. This is him on the screen. He's telling us about his experience with the Jacksons of Atlanta. Guys, also, he does have a channel, as you see, Sunaway Reviews. Now, he doesn't do commentary and things of that nature. On his channel, he actually does anime type of things. Now, I'm minimally familiar with what anime is, but go check him out. If you have kids that may be interested in that, young boys usually. Some girls like anime though, of course. Or maybe game plan, and he can definitely leave us a message in the chat to give us more information about his channel so that if anybody resonates with that, they can definitely become a member. And again, we do thank you for putting yourself out here, being vulnerable with us, letting us know what you went through. We really appreciate it. And again, we are so sorry that you had to experience that. People with talents like this should never be taken advantage of. People should never be taken advantage of, period. Talents or not, even the deadbeats.
Blocking my phone calls, blocking. I guess he blocked my text as well. And I'm like, okay, so you guys have my hard drive, and you're gonna block me from everything, and you guys owe me money. We're not having that. So I ended up having to. I gave them a warning before I did this. I was like, hey, if you guys don't
Welcome to the
respond to
chat.
me in like a timely manner, I'm gonna call the police and then have them like help me collect my stuff. They never responded. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like they think I'm joking. So I called the police and I ended up going over there with some officers, and they answered the door all surprised, like, oh, like, what's going on? I'm just like, wow, these guys are full of it. I already told the officer everything that was going on, and they were like, yeah, these guys are like scammers, and they're like pretty messed up. So when we finish this, you need to also go to small claims with them. And I was like, okay, cool. So we get there, and
Okay, y'all see that right there. He says that Sarah isn't the one that they owe money. It actually is her daughter, and her daughter is the one who went to court with him. Heck, it was something I was just about to ask or say, and I forgot. Let me go back over here and see if I see it. I'm not quite sure. I was gonna say, guys, if you will hit that like button for me. Um, hit that like button, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Also, y'all, like I said, be sure y'all check him out.
I collect my hard drive from them. And Justin's like, oh, you're going to hear from our lawyers. They don't have lawyers. But anyways, he's like, yeah, you're going to hear from our lawyers. And also, we want him to be like trespassed so that way he can't come on our property. I'm like, dude, I'm never coming back here. You trust me, you do not have to worry about that.
Hey,
So
Leslie.
that was a real big issue for me. And then I ended up going through that whole process. I ended up getting my hard drive, and then I took them to small claims, which I took them to small claims, and they took forever to respond. But after me taking them to small claims, I ended up winning the case, and Justin never showed up to court. He sent Mahogany in his place because I didn't write Mahogany's name anywhere on the claim. I wrote Justin because, Justin's the one pulling the strings. So Justin never showed up. Only Mahogany was there, and I thought that was kind of odd. And she came late too, by the way. And I also ended up bringing one of the old videographers who used to work with them.
You know what? It's interesting that they allowed her to be late. You should have got an automatic writ of possession on that case because she wasn't there to answer properly when you guys were to be seen. He says Sarah's. Oh wow, you're from Hawaii. I didn't know they had accents over there. Well, I guess some people do over there. But he says that she was the other videographer who edited videos. I'm trying. Okay, I think we're caught up. Oh no, we not. We got a whole bunch more. Let me see. Yeah. Hi, Queen Barb. Welcome to the chat. Exactly. We wish you nothing but the best. Okay, he's going to put up a demo reel on his channel, guys. As you all know, he is a videographer and he does do all type of work. So, hey, but y'all got to pay, honey, because we don't want to have y'all up here on the screen because we will tell. I'm just saying.
And she helped me out in my case and ended up helping me win. So at this point, I ended up winning the case, and they ended up owing me the money that they owe, and it was a court order. It was a judgment order, meaning that they had to pay it at a certain time. Mahogany ends up not paying. Till this day, I haven't seen anything. So I'm like, I send them like more warnings and emails like, hey, like, what's going on? Nothing. They don't send me any kind of text. They don't send me any kind of email.
Right.
At the courthouse, whenever we
Welcome note
finished the
was
trial,
murdered,
Mahogany was like
Cat.
crying and like, oh, like I'm going through this divorce with Justin, you know, all the BS stuff that they're talking about, which isn't real. But like going through all that crap, and she's like crying to the judge, lying to the judge about like, I don't have the money or the funds and stuff like that. Can I get an extension? I don't give them an extension. So, and I find like this is the part that pisses me off because I'm sure that you guys can see
Timmy.
Mahogany and Justin are still posting on their channels and things like that. And Mahogany recently posted a video of her purchasing a Tesla Model X. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Model X's are $80,000. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you're claiming that you don't have the money to pay me, the nanny, the old videographer, and the videographer before them, and the other people. They owe all of these people money, and no one has taken them to court because we all signed the contract and we signed the little NDA talking about this stuff, but our contract became void the moment that one, they didn't pay, and all the lies and stuff, and who we signed the contract with, because we signed it with Kathy Franklin, who doesn't exist. So I even asked the judge about it. The contract was void. So at this point, you know, that's why I'm speaking out about it now, because I want people to know that this is how they.
Now, I have a question in reference to the court case. Being that you signed your contract with Kathy Franklin, when you did your lawsuit, did you have to do it with Kathy Franklin, or did you have to do it under them or the company name? Because that's interesting, and see, that may be what their goal was with this assumed name thing here. There's a thing called an assumed name with a business. And I spoke with you guys about that previously. Like, did you have to sue that name, or were you still able to sue under their names?
They do things that no one should ever work for them. They do it with everyone. They've done it with me. They've done it with the videographer before me. They've done it with the one before her. And they did it with the nanny. And they owe the nanny more money than they owe me. So that was some things that it just didn't sit right with me. And nobody should really work with them. Again, they claim to be these pastors and Christians and stuff. They're all up in their videos talking about this. And I'm just like, you guys are so full of it. And no one's able to see through your guys' BS, and it bothers me. So I had to be the one to take them to court, and also to make this video to warn people, you know, do not work for these guys. Do not work for Justin and Mahogany. They owe me way over a couple $1,000s, and I'm going to get every bit of that, trust me. And same thing with, you know, the nanny. They owe her that amount of money. Same thing with the other videographers. They owe so many people money, and no one has decided to take them to court, and it was because of the contract, which if you guys are watching this now, you know, you guys can take them to small claims. You guys will win. I will be a witness. You know, contact me. I will be a witness, and I will help you.
Y'all better contact him, and I'm so glad that you posted this with their name. So anytime anybody Googles their name, you will be able to get information to hopefully help with that. I mean, like, they'll get the information from you and be able to contact you. But yeah, I am very glad that you did do that.
You guys with this
you don't
case.
have that much longer,
That's
guys.
like pretty much everything about them as far as, you know, working with them and everything. When it comes to their kids, I know I said I was going to talk about how they treat their kids and everything. I'm not going to say everything because that becomes very messy. It becomes some other big thing. But as you guys can tell, when it came to filming in their house, they would have the kids, you know, come downstairs and do their stuff and film. Then whenever they're done filming, they would send them back upstairs and be like, all right, that's it with the kids. Justin and Mahogany do not spend time with their kids. They don't even know their names. And they even slip up in the videos where they get the names wrong. They have to redo some stuff because they get the names wrong. These guys clearly had these kids for the money to help their channel grow and stuff like that. They do not care. They do not want kids. And it's really sad because they're sweet kids. And I know that, you know, Justin Jr. is autistic, and To be honest with you, I believe that all of the kids, that something is wrong with all of the kids. It could also be a thing of they just don't spend time with their kids. They don't read to them.
I think they may have failure to thrive. We just talked about that the other day. Kids have to be stimulated consistently. Now, a question that I do have for you, Sunaway, you did say that you are concerned, you feel that they don't get a lot of interaction. Do they go to school? Because I know the older two should at least be school age. Or do they go to school, or do they have someone maybe come in and homeschool them?
They don't, go upstairs and spend time with them, stuff like that. Their kids just exist and they spend
Okay.
most of the time upstairs in their rooms, running around and doing whatever that they do upstairs, but they're never just downstairs with their mom and dad. And it's really sad when you're there. There have been times where I would be downstairs with them. I'd be playing with cars because they do love cars, and you can tell that they're being neglected because they want to spend so much time with you. And I'm sure Holly could speak on that as well. She would always, she's the nanny, so she would spend more time with them.
Mm-mm.
We both caught on to their names way before these guys have, and these are their kids. So I don't understand how they aren't able to get their names down. And I don't know. And it would be a thing of like, oh, they have 6 kids, but I have over 100 students and I can tell you all of their names. But anyways, that's like a discussion for another thingy. I also find it kind of funny how now when, they've seen my video, my short video of me talking about how I was going to talk about them. Ever since then, they've been taking their kids outside. Them kids have never been outside since I've been there, ever. They always keep them inside the house. They never go anywhere. The only one who actually goes outside was Maverick because, he's the baby and they had to take him to go to a doctor's appointment, which, I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that part. But anyways, yeah, the kids never leave the house. So that was kind of annoying. Whenever we did that one video where they're like throwing the stuff out, and the kids are helping them move everything,
That's
that was the
my
first time they've
line.
been outside. And even the kids are like trying to enjoy the time outside. And they're like, oh, like trying to put them to work. I'm like, let these kids have fun. You have a backyard. And so, you guys see them. There was one video where they had that big bounce house inside their house. That they rented it. It wasn't actually theirs. Clearly, it wasn't theirs. The next day, they sent it back. They gave the kids like 15 minutes to play on it while we filmed. Once we finished, they ended up, packing it back up and sending it on. And I was like,
That wasn't even
these kids have nothing. So I started to feel really bad, and it was like really upsetting working there. The other thing that I found really nasty was for the first 2 weeks of me working there was no soap in the bathroom, and it was disgusting. Mahogany's excuse of why there was no soap in the bathroom was she's like, oh, I get like these Amazon deals, so whenever I make the video of that, I'm gonna put the soap in there. And I'm just like, you can't just
So did they use body wash? Child, they do bathe, right?
go buy soap and put it in the bathroom. That's disgusting.
It is
So
nasty.
I ended up bringing my own soap to work because there were some times where Justin and Mahogany would go to the bathroom and they just, obviously they wouldn't wash their hands, and it's just nasty. They're very nasty people. The house is nasty.
They
They're nasty people. It's just bad. Another thing, touching on the kids is, again, like I said, they don't really care for the kids like that. They just have them for fame and, for the money and everything like that. One thing that really bothered me is there was that one video where Justin was like dragging the kids around in this basket that he tied a string to and just dragging them around. There's one part that I ended up having to cut out because it would be very bad. Justin ended up slamming one of them into the wall, and
Wow.
they're crying and they're like, oh, like cut the camera. I'm still rolling, but they tell me to cut the camera and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like.
Erica, he did mention earlier that this is their home where they stay, but there's not much furniture in it. Basically, they live their life to produce YouTube content, which I mean, content creators, that's what a lot of them do, but most people basically enjoy what they produce. I mean, what's the use of making $200,000 and you can't spend it? Like, that's crazy. And I know on that one video of having one of those kids, that's about how much, because I think they had over between 2 to 5 million views on one of those. So yeah. I wonder what the heck are they doing? They're putting the money into other stuff, but I don't know. This is weird. It's just weird. Girl, I know that's right. Somebody lying. That's what I said. Do that stink? They ain't got no soul. Jeez.
What the heck? You're not careful. And every time he did it, I'm just like, dude, just getting so close to the wall. So he's like crying, and then Justin puts him back in the basket, and he goes back to go do it again. He doesn't care. None of them care about the kids, and it bothers me. There have been times where they would leave Maverick in the car seat in the kitchen by himself. It's just things like that that really drove me insane.
That's why Miles ain't had no hair in the back.
I actually left this part out. There was a time where I got really sick, and I mean like sick to the point where I had a high fever, I was throwing up, and I ended up texting Justin to let him know, well, the group chat, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to come into work today. And he was like, he ended up texting me back 2 hours later, which I thought was odd, because Justin never takes a long time to respond to text messages.
He was at his
So
boyfriend's house.
I thought that was very odd. He ended up getting back to me. He's like, yo, like, what's going on? So he ended up calling me, and he's like, well, we gotta like finish up this video. And I'm like, Justin, I'm sick. Like, I'm throwing up, I have a high fever. You have 6 kids. I don't want to pass that on to them. And he's like, oh, like, you gotta find some kind of way to.
Honey, you should have stayed at home. There's no way I would have went there so he could get my temperature. What are you gonna do? Fire you? Hell. Let me see where we were. Okay, we're about 7 minutes to the end, guys. I just hate that you had to go through that. Yeah, CPS probably should be involved with them. Yes, Susie. I hope you will take the opportunity to go and look at the rest of the video. There's a lot of good information there. We definitely thank Sunaway for being brave enough and bold enough to come out here and tell us the story. I mean, we really appreciate that. Yes, the kids' room look empty. The beds don't look like they have bottoms. I remember the last time we saw it, the mattresses looked like they were on the floor. I've never seen a crib like that. And you're right, the kids can't go to school if they don't. They can't go to school if they're not potty trained. So I don't know. Hey guys. I don't know. I don't know. Because the thing is, they're not from there. They're from Virginia. Those older babies was born in Virginia. I don't know where the second set of twins, where they was born at, but whatever the case is, I believe they're going to fly through the cracks um, because let me see, what did she say? Because they're not from there, so I don't know how that goes. How he keeps tags on things so she can return them. I ain't see that, son. The way you said she be keeping tags on stuff so she can return it. Now, I told y'all before, like I said, I think they have a copyright relationship with another company, so they probably have to give some of their money to that company. Now, I don't know if that's where this Phantom Kathy comes from or not, but I don't know, guys. But if you guys have any questions for Sunaway, you can go ahead and ask. I've had you guys here, for just an hour. I don't know why it seemed like longer. The story was good, probably. That's probably why. But if you guys have anything else you would like to ask, go ahead and ask while he is still here. Also, please be sure, guys, to hit that like button. And if you're not a member here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. We talk about all things family and babies over here. Um, Sunaway is a videographer. He does great work. He's done a lot of the work on their channel. So, if you guys know anyone or have anyone who's looking into having that type of work done, y'all know where he is. He has Sunaway reviews here over on YouTube as well as Instagram. So you can definitely check him out. Let me see if I missed anybody down here. No, yeah, those kids do need help. It is unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that they don't love their kids better. Before that Ruby Frank story, I mean, obviously we've known other people who mistreat their children, but I don't know. I guess I hadn't heard anything like that recent enough that it was on my mind. Let me say it like that. Because I've heard of people being awful, but before that it wasn't on my mind. So I guess I never thought about it, but this just makes it a little more real. And the thing is, what's the end game here for these people? They're not making money to enjoy the money they're making. They're not making money or having a family to raise this beautiful family, have these well-adjusted kids. The only thing we ever really see them eat is some raggedy food she cooks or a Happy Meal. And I mean, it's still food, but we do remember the last time they went to the doctor, she was trying to put one of the kids on medicine. She got mad that the doctor wouldn't give up any medicine. And then the kids were underweight, both of them, both of the oldest ones were. Hey, Lacey Daniel, welcome to the chat. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. You came in right at the end. Did she? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Now, I looked for that divorce and I didn't see it. So let's see. She did say that she had papers, but I didn't see anywhere where she said anything about um, the filing of it. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my due diligence on that, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll go live tomorrow as well to discuss the divorce case. I don't want to hold Mr. Sunaway any longer. If you guys do have any last minute questions, you can go ahead and ask. Now, I know he's pretty astute when it comes to being online, so in case he doesn't see it now, you can obviously, if you're in the replay game, put it in the chat. Hopefully he will see it, especially if you tag his name, Sunaway_reviews. And I'm sure he'll answer it, but he's been very forthcoming with information. So pretty much everything that he could possibly tell you is here. I can't think of anything else to ask. He already told us that he does not feel they're ministers. He told us the full story in great detail. He did tell us that he filed suit. He told us about the suit, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, he gave us everything but the kitchen sink. Yeah, he did. Tell me, guys, if you have anything else you'd like to add before we end tonight. I'm going to definitely go look at that, Lacey, and we will discuss that tomorrow. Their journeys and them said never seen two people who. Yeah, you're right. They got too involved in, yes, we as YouTubers all started watching their channel because they had a beautiful family. That was the draw. They think it was them that was the draw. That's why they feel like they can treat this young man like that. Like they felt they were larger than life. Like, oh my goodness. Hi, Miss Lisa Bell. Hi, welcome to the chat. If you will hit that subscribe button. Be sure you turn on those notifications so when we upload and when we go live, you'll know. We talk about all things mommies over here. We do mommy advice columns, which I do have a new episode coming soon of that. Haven't done that in a while. I have a show I do with my own daughter. We do all things mommy over here. That's why we first started watching the Jacksons of Atlanta. Of course, everything went left with them with that fake story about the child, which he confirmed that for us as well. They came on doing what? I don't know what you're saying, Passion Lisa. Or either I can't see the word. I don't know. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and end. We've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. Mr. Sunaway, I thank you so very much. I'm gonna go check out that paperwork. Also tomorrow, if I can pull up this case, we will go over the court documents of that as well tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, guys. Be sure you guys share this video and be sure you show Mr. Sunaway some love over there. Oh, good. If you ever have any advice that you need to ask us as a channel, baby, do not hesitate to do so. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the information that was put out here today. Miss Susie, I'm going to try to get the paperwork. I tried to get it earlier today, could not find the court case. I do have more information from him. Plus, he did email me. So from there, I'll get the information and we will go from there, okay? But let me know what you think. Think about the story. Think about the things that were done. If you have any advice for him on how to get his money and the other people, hit the comments. Let us know. Let's discuss it there, guys. I thank you so much for spending this hour with me tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until the next video.